one of the things about this report that I thought was interesting is that your call wasn't based on the iPhone 11, which so many people got excited about after launch. It's doing pretty well, but it's based on wearables, the watch and the AirPods. You're saying you expect this holiday quarter to be better than 10 billion. How much does that matter when the iPhone for so long has been what steered this stock?
So, John, you're absolutely correct. We do expect this Christmas holiday season to be very different than last Christmas. Remember, last Christmas, Apple came out and pre-announced negative literally right after the New Year, January 2nd, negative, and the first time they missed since the iPhone was launched 12 years ago. What's different this year is you're correct. Most people have been previously focused on the iPhone only. However, what we found this year is the wearables segment is doing very well and going to surprise and upside people. Specifically, the Apple AirPods, the items that fit into your ears, you walk around cordless, those are selling very, very well, as well as the Apple Watch. This adds to Apple's diversity, but to come back and directly answer your question about what about iPhone, well, we are setting up for 2020 of a 5G iPhone launch, which will then tick and tock the investor interest from wearables back to iPhones later in 2020.
Jim, can we put to bed that trope out there about Apple can't innovate because they didn't come out with the Amazon Echo first, which, by the way, we don't know how much money Amazon makes off of it. They sell for less than the AirPods that Apple is. I mean, we know that Apple makes stuff that's profitable, and you're talking about a $10 billion wearable quarter. Are you not?
That's correct. $10 billion is a lot of money, and we're talking in one quarter. This is more than many companies make or sell for an entire year, and Apple's doing this in one quarter in a small segment that many people are not paying attention to. So when we talk about innovation, I think it's important to look that Apple really focuses on the consumer experience and making sure it's an optimal experience. Let me explain. When 4G came out, 3G came out, 2G came out, and LTE, Apple was not the first to market. And people were asking the same questions. What Apple did was make sure that they optimized things like battery life, screen usage, call connectivity to make sure when you're driving down the road, the battery or connection doesn't drop off. Sometimes this takes a little bit more time for Apple, and we believe Apple is focused on the premium consumer experience. And if that means they're a few months later, that's okay. So yes, their innovation on the outside looks like it's slower when you look at the specs and the lack of 5G right now today. But when it comes out, it tends to be a very solid and good experience for consumers.
Yeah, it tends to actually make money, too.
Jim, where do you think investors are right now in terms of understanding margins on services and the accounting of streaming? Are we getting any closer to grappling with that?
That's a great question. Let's talk about services. It's been growing double digits, very strong, and it's materially above corporate average margins. So this item is absolutely important. You know, in our report, we don't diminish it. We don't say it's not important. But keep in mind that Apple TV Plus, which was just recently launched, comes with 1 year free subscriptions for users who buy a new iPhone. So with that 1 year free, we don't really necessarily believe that Apple TV Plus is going to be a big economic impact today. Now, if they start bundling it, and all of a sudden you can buy music plus TV plus arcade and games and also insurance and all these other things in Apple Cloud for storage, that becomes more interesting. But TV today and services, the TV part is going to be very small because you get it for free. Services over time becomes very important, but everybody on Wall Street kind of knows about this. In our report, we're focused on what they don't know, and that's how hot selling the Apple Watch and the AirPods are for this Christmas season.